The Kansas City Chiefs are facing a major decision this offseason, and the future of DeAndre Hopkins is at the center of this debate. The veteran wide receiver, who had a solid season after being traded to Kansas City, will he be kept for next year, or will the franchise decide to go in another direction? In today's video, I'll share all the details about this crucial decision that could impact Patrick Mahomes' team. Stay tuned and understand what's at stake for the Chiefs' upcoming season. Before diving into this important decision about Hopkins, it's essential to talk about a point that will also be crucial for the Chiefs' future: the offensive line. Last season, the line didn't deliver the expected performance and was one of the key weaknesses that compromised the team's overall performance. Undoubtedly, it's one of the areas the franchise urgently needs to strengthen. However, before discussing solutions, it's interesting to see how the wide receiver core, led by Mahomes, is shaping up for 2025. Let's take a look at the options the Chiefs will have for next year, especially if Hopkins stays on the team. DeAndre Hopkins' situation is somewhat intriguing. After being acquired from the Tennessee Titans, Hopkins quickly made an impact with the Chiefs, showing that he still has plenty of quality, despite being 32 years old. In 10 regular season games, he posted 41 receptions, 437 yards, and 4 touchdowns, demonstrating that when paired with a quarterback of Patrick Mahomes' caliber, he can be a significant threat. However, the question is, should the Chiefs invest in keeping him for 2025? According to free agent rankings, Hopkins is considered the 21st best available and could sign for a good price. But will the franchise risk bringing in another veteran, or will they bet on other alternatives for the future? What do you think about DeAndre Hopkins' situation with the Chiefs? Do you think he can still be a key player for Mahomes' team in 2025, or should the franchise focus on a younger, long-term receiver? Leave your opinion in the comments. We want to know what you think about this decision. Now, let's get to what really matters this offseason. The big question for all Chiefs fans: will DeAndre Hopkins stay in Kansas City, or will the franchise opt to move forward? Let's talk about the details of this decision that could change the team's future for 2025. DeAndre Hopkins made an immediate impact on the Chiefs after his trade, but the question now is, will he be kept for 2025? The franchise is considering several options, and the fact that Hopkins is still a threat on the field, even at 32, puts him in a strategic position for the team. His relationship with Patrick Mahomes could be a huge asset for the next season. However, the Chiefs also have other options on the roster and need to decide whether to keep Hopkins or invest in alternatives for the future. The fact that Hopkins was one of the top performers after the trade, with 41 receptions and 4 touchdowns, makes this decision even more difficult. If the Chiefs decide to re-sign Hopkins, it could be a great move to keep the offense strong in 2025, especially given his impressive performance alongside Mahomes. However, the decision also comes with risks. If Hopkins opts for a short-term deal, the Chiefs might be limited in their ability to pursue younger options or even bolster other areas of the team, such as the offensive line, which also needs attention. The key will be balancing Hopkins' immediate impact with the need to build a competitive team for the coming years. In your opinion, should the Chiefs invest in Hopkins for 2025 and try to strengthen the team with him alongside Mahomes? Or would it be better to focus on younger players for the future of the franchise? And does the team have room for other improvements if they renew with Hopkins? Leave your opinions in the comments and join the conversation. So, what do you think of the Chiefs' potential moves? We'll keep an eye on how DeAndre Hopkins' situation unfolds and what other important decisions the team will make this offseason. Stay tuned for more news about the Chiefs and other market moves. I'll see you in the next video. The Kansas City Chiefs have been one of the most dominant teams in the NFL in recent years, but after their loss in Super Bowl 59, some significant changes could be on the horizon to rebuild their team and maintain their competitiveness in the AFC Conference. Among the names that have started to make waves in trade rumors is that of DK Metcalf, the star receiver for the Seattle Seahawks. This potential trade could be a masterstroke for the Chiefs, but it also brings with it a series of challenges, both financial and strategic. The Chiefs have several valuable draft picks in the 2025 NFL Draft, giving them great flexibility to make important decisions about their future. However, acquiring a player of Metcalf's caliber is no easy task. The 26-year-old receiver is in the final year of a 3-year, $72 million contract, which means that while his performance has been excellent in Seattle, His salary is considerable and could pose a challenge for the Chiefs given their current salary cap situation. Currently, Metcalf's salary cap hit is around $31 million, a figure that could cause serious problems for the Chiefs, who already have limited cap space for the upcoming season. If Kansas City decided to pursue Metcalf, the receiver would need to sign an immediate contract extension, which could put the Chiefs in a difficult financial position. Additionally, even if Patrick Mahomes restructures his contract to free up space, the Chiefs would still face challenges managing their money effectively due to other significant contracts on their roster. On the other hand, the potential agreement between the Seahawks and the Chiefs could also be hindered by Seattle's stance. Although the Seahawks are aware that Metcalf is entering the final year of his contract, he is also a key player in their offense, and the prospect of losing him could be a hard blow to their championship aspirations. With a team already in the process of building for a title run in the coming years, losing Metcalf could harm the team's chances in the NFC. Additionally, the Seahawks are facing the imminent departure of another star receiver, Tyler Lockett, who could be let go in the offseason. The need to maintain good chemistry between their quarterback, Geno Smith, and their receivers, like Metcalf, makes Seattle more reluctant to entertain the idea of trading their star at a critical time. With a new offensive coordinator and a new approach to their offense, Seattle may prioritize stability in their receiving core, especially if Metcalf remains a key factor in opening up the field and creating opportunities for players like Jackson Smith-Jigba. If the Chiefs are truly interested in making this move, they would have to part with a significant amount of draft capital to secure the trade. With the draft picks they possess, Kansas City has the opportunity to address more pressing needs, such as the offensive line, secondary, and interior defensive line, all areas where the team has shown weaknesses in recent years. Furthermore, with key players like Justin Reed, Nick Bolton, and Trey Smith potentially hitting free agency, the Chiefs might opt to re-sign some of these players instead of pursuing an expensive trade for Metcalf. The team's needs are varied and widespread, and while adding Metcalf to their already potent offense could be a great move in the long run, it may not necessarily be the most immediate or strategic decision for the Chiefs. Another factor to consider is the need to reinforce the offensive line. With Joe Thuney in a compromised position, the Chiefs need to find a left tackle so that Thuney can return to his guard role. Additionally, the team also has to think about the need to bring in a high-level running back to add more depth to their offense. In terms of defense, the most critical areas include the interior defensive line and the secondary, so the idea of trading for a high-profile receiver may not be the priority. The Chiefs need to make smart decisions in the draft to improve these key areas that could have been decisive in their Super Bowl loss. Meanwhile, rumors about the possible arrival of Metcalf continue to circulate and will likely persist until financial and strategic matters are resolved. From the Seahawks' perspective, although losing Metcalf would be painful, there are also reasons to believe they wouldn't want to let their star move to an AFC team that could become their primary rival in the future. Additionally, Seattle still has championship aspirations, so it's likely that the team would prefer to keep Metcalf and try to maximize his talent rather than send him to a competitive team like the Chiefs. This scenario makes the transaction even more complicated, as the Seahawks not only have to consider Metcalf's value to their team, but also the possibility of facing the Chiefs in an NFC championship or even in the Super Bowl in the near future. The Seahawks' decision on whether to keep or trade Metcalf could drastically change the Chiefs' prospects and the structure of the NFC in the coming years. While the possibility of the Kansas City Chiefs acquiring DK Metcalf generates much speculation, there are several factors that make this transaction unlikely. Financial challenges, the Seahawks situation, and the Chiefs' needs in other areas are just some of the obstacles they face. While it would be exciting to see Metcalf alongside Mahomes and Kelsey in an even more powerful offense, the Chiefs' long-term priorities might make this trade not the best decision for them at this time.